So hi guys, this is a nice restorative lying down class based on this week's class using the small ball so that you can do it at home while I'm not around if you want to. You don't need to use the small ball, you can use a cushion or a pillow or nothing if you prefer, but the ball just adds a little bit extra to your practice without having to put too much effort in. Start seated, make yourself nice and comfortable. You might even be able to do the whole class with your eyes closed if you don't want to peek at me. But I'm here if you need to just see what's going on. Comfortable leg position, ball in front and roll the shoulders. Take a few moments to feel what's going on in there. You don't both directions. So the theme this week is kindness to yourself and to others. And you've shown some kindness to yourself by taking some time out to stretch your body, move your joints and breathe. So let's take a little moment you can either take both hands on the chest, one hand on the chest, one on the belly, or have both hands down on your legs or on your lap if you prefer. Take a moment to check in, see how the breath is, and close your eyes if you want to. If not, then just gaze down towards the floor. The spine is long, the chest is lifted, and the back of the neck is long. The breathing is however you wish it to be. It's time now to forget everything that has gone before and everything that's to come ahead in your day. And just spend some time just being you. Checking in with your body and your breath and your mind. Taking some time out. And just the rhythm of your breath. And softening the shoulders and the face as you settle into your space. And then gently release your hands down to your lap. And the backs of the hands onto something. And gently turn your head to one side as if trying to look behind you. Drawing the chin over the shoulder. Take a nice inhale and a sigh. And turn the head to the center to do the same the other side. Nice inhale as you lift the chest and drop the shoulders with a sigh. And the head back to center. And stretch the fingers out. Expose the wrists and the palms, and then gently bring the fingers back to the thumb, or maybe squeeze the fingers into the fist if you prefer to get more strength into those knuckles. Now as you breathe in, open the hands. And as you breathe out, close the hands. Keep going. Lotus flower breath. You want to take this nice and slowly. A couple of pauses if possible. So at the end of the inhale, when the fingers are open, just pause. And at the end of the exhale, when the fingers are touching the thumb, there's no hurry to breathe back in again. Just focusing on your breath. The expansion of the ribs forwards and sideways, and letting go with each exhale. And now gently let those hands rest and release, relax. The fingers are just lightly curled. Take the right hand over to your left shoulder and placing the hand onto the shoulder. Let the weight draw the shoulder down away from your face. And take the listening ear to the other shoulder, creating space between ear and shoulder. Let's have some little micro movements here. So turning your nose down towards your shoulder as much or as little as you like, and then forwards again. then eventually bringing the nose straight forwards and the head up and the arm down. Take a moment to breathe in and out. And take the left hand onto the right shoulder and drop that shoulder down and take the listening into the opposite shoulder. Pausing there and then taking a couple of micro movements, maybe turning the head a little to have the nose down towards the shoulder and then the nose forwards to release the neck. And then bring your head back up to center, release that hand down, bring your chin down towards your chest. Now lift your chest so you lengthen through the spine and then move your head in any way that feels comfortable now. Maybe it's just tiny micro movements, maybe it's a full roll like a swing boat all the way to one shoulder and then down and over to the other side, like drawing a smile across your chest. And then bringing the head back to center. And if you want to, you can flicker your eyes open here or keep them closed and then gently lift your head up on top of the spine. And take the arms out wide as you breathe in and give yourself a hug. Taking your hands right over the shoulders if you can, so the palms are slotted into your shoulders and fingers are just behind. And then use the taps of the fingers, the pads of the fingers to just either stroke or scratch or rub those shoulders so the brain knows there's a hug going on. It can release those feel-good emotions which help to reduce any stresses, anxieties, and disease, giving you ease. Let's see which arm is on the top. Take a nice big breath in, open up, and do the same with the other arm on the top. Wrap those hands right round, maybe wiggle your shoulders. Palms onto the shoulders and the fingers just slightly moving. And take a breath in and out. We're going to release those hands and take them palm to palm, finger to finger in front of your chest and lift the elbows. We're going to press the hands together and release. Press and release. This activates shoulders, pectorals, upper arms. Press and release. And we're going to lightly interlace the fingers and pull them apart. So sit up nice and tall and notice that strength that you've created in those shoulders and the upper back. Pull and release. Pull and release. One more time. Pull and release. I'm going to do the same with the ball. If you need to change the position of your legs too, but take the ball between the hands and give it a good wiggle there. So the little micro movements that affect all the tiniest little muscles and ligaments all the way through those arms. And as you press, you're getting the same effect in the pectorals and the shoulders, but with little damage to the wrists because they're not pressing hard against each other or hard against anything else. So if you have wrists that are not very accommodating, this might be better for them. Things just lightly curled over the top of the ball. Do a little squeeze, and we're going to pull that ball apart as well. Now you might want to do it with fingertips, pincer fingers. I like to just hold the whole ball, fingers wrapped around it, and pull it apart. That really good pull, and lift your chest and notice how that really strengthens your upper back. Take a nice long breath in, sigh, and release the ball. Okay, now take the legs out straight now into a Dandasana, seated staff pose. The big toes pulling towards you. I'm going to sneak right over the front of the block, so my sitting bones are over the block so I can sit up nice and straight. But I'm still going to take the fingers to the side to give me that lovely upright Dandasana position. Have a look at your toes, squeeze and stretch them. Mobilize those toes. Bend the knees slightly so you're on the heels, windscreen wide over legs. And then point and flex. point and flex, point and flex. And then let the toes go out, round in circles, circling the ankles, the knees, and the hips, and back the other way. We're going to use the ball to strengthen the legs, so we don't need to stand up and get too physical when it's hot weather. We can put the ball between the thighs and the knees and squeeze it. You squeeze it as much or as little as you like. You've got that nice action going on with the feet pulling towards you. Hands by your sides. I'm going to take a sway, rainbow sways, take the left arm up, over we go, and reach towards the wall and retract a couple of times. That's just to get the body used to what the stretch is going to be, and then we'll just pause and hold it there. Look down at the bottom hand, and look forwards. Try looking up the top hand, pull it back as far as you can take it whilst you're sitting it. Rotate the wrist a few times each way. And then release that arm. Give the ball a squeeze if you want to re-engage, and then second side, half rainbow. You can keep moving, or whenever you're ready to stop, just pause, let the arm come over the head, turn to look down at the hand, and look forwards, turn to look up at the top arm. How far back can you pull it while still seeing it? And rotate the wrist a couple times each way. And release that arm too. We're going to move the ball, so take the ball out and put it between the ankles this time with the squeeze there. That's a slightly different action on the legs now, ready for rotation. Breathing in, open up, rotate over to Dandasana. Fingers on the floor behind you to give you height. The front hand is creating that knee bridge, so you can turn as much as is comfortable for you. Chin over back shoulder. Drop the shoulders down away from the ears. Take one more breath in and sigh. Counter rotate the head. Breath in and then head to center. Re-engage the ball if you want to between those ankles. Swing or Parivrtta Dandasana, second side. Back hand, give you height, front hand knee bridge. Chin drawn towards back shoulder. Focus on the breath. And then counter rotate the head. For one full breath. And the head to center and the arms to center. Release the ball. I'm going to lie down now. Semi-supine position. You can have a pillow for your head if you'd like to have one. Have the ball just to one side so it's handy. And coming down, bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet to the floor, or stretch the legs out to start with if you want to. So finding a comfortable position, allow your arms and shoulders to relax, and gently sway your knees from side to side. We're going to start with Apanasana, so that's where we bring both knees to the chest, one hand on each knee. Push the knees away as you breathe in, pull the knees towards you as you breathe out. Keep going. I'm going to hold it there. I'm going to put the left foot on the floor, giving the right knee a hug, drawing it closer and closer so the back broadens and melts along the floor. You can lift your head here as well if you want to, or leave the head down. Let's work the toes first, so squeeze and stretch the toes. Point and flex the foot. And when we work for ankle rotations, you can do it here, or you can put your head down Float the leg up towards the sky and ankle rotate there so you can see the foot, and the act of lifting the leg refreshes the leg as well. So rotate the ankle both ways. Hip circles, give that knee a hug back into your chest, push it out to the side as far as it will go. Draw it towards your armpit and then round in a circle. Then you can straighten the left leg out if you want to. And you can go the right one if you want to. Taking care not to cross the midline if you have any severe hip issues. Let's take half a dozen in each direction. When you finish, you can just bring the foot back to the floor and use that newly flexible hip to take a lying down tree pose, Supta Vrksasana. I'm going to use the ball to put the knee on. Put the ball down on the right side, settle the ball off the foot, the sole of the foot into the left leg, and then find the right position for your ball underneath the right knee. Supta Vrksasana, lying down tree pose. Right knee out to the side, resting on the ball, so that the micro movements of the ball are working the inner hip muscles without having to think about it. The left leg is floppy, but the sole of the foot is touching the left leg. Hands can be belly or out to the side, palms facing upwards, forearms exposed is cooling. Straight out from the shoulders will open the chest more. Cactus will open the chest even more. And arms behind the head, but only if they can touch the floor and are relaxed. So arms anywhere that's comfortable for you today. Take a little hip check. Is everything relaxed, or are you holding any tension? Let the space be open and relaxed. When we change sides in a moment, we can help by bringing the arms back to the belly. Maybe placing the right hand on the right thigh, helping that hip come to center. Leave the ball there so it doesn't get in the way with hip circles the other side. Straighten the leg out, have a little shake, and on the screen right foot off the legs. Bend the knees again, and then the soles of the feet to the floor, and hug the left knee. Pause for a minute as you draw it closer and closer and closer. Lift the head if you want to, or leave it down. Work on the toes, squeeze and stretch. Point and flex. Ankle rotations where you are, or put your head down if it's lifted, float the leg to the sky. Ankle rotations where you can see them so you can get the maximum movement in your ankle. Both directions. Hip rotations, bring your hand to the knee, draw the knee in towards you, push it out to the side as far as it will go, and pull it to your chest and then push it away again so it's going in circles. You can straighten out the right leg, you can move both the knee if you want to. Try and do half a dozen big circles in each direction. When you've done those, you can just bring the foot back to the floor, ready for lying down true pose. So you can find your ball, you can bring it over to the left side. Let the foot go towards the inner thigh of the right leg and the knee up to the side, resting on the ball for those micro movements. If it's not quite high enough, you can always put extra padding under the ball. That nice release. And then settle the foot into the inner thigh somewhere. Let the right leg relax completely. Again, hands can be wherever you like, maybe a different position to the side. The belly, floor, rising upwards, out from the shoulders, just all the hands. Make sure you're not trying to hobble off the ball of the leg. The feet are completely relaxed and open. And it steps to just think about coming out of lying down true pose by bringing the arms back to a comfortable position, maybe using the left hand underneath the thigh to push the knee up. Straighten the legs out to give them a good shimmy and stretch. Maybe you'd like a morning stretch here as well, with both the arms and the legs stretching out. Maybe they're climbing up an imaginary rope behind you. Maybe a yawn. Pandiculation is one of those stretches that is involuntary, comes with a yawn. Maybe you stretch with a yawn and you release as you breathe out. And then bring the feet back down to the floor. Bring the ball and pop it in front of your belly, on your belly. You're going to press the palms into the ball and squeeze it like we did seated. Press, 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 and release. And then take the fingers right down the ball and pull it apart as much as you can. And release. Take the ball straight up towards the ceiling, right above your chest, above your chin, and do the same. So press the palms together, keep the shoulders on the floor. Press, press, press. And then grab the ball, pull it apart, pull it apart. And release it. Same with the ball behind your head if you can touch the floor. Place it on the floor, press the hands into the ball, see how wobbly that is, and how much strength you're creating in the arms. You've got a lovely arch at the back. Release. Pull the ball apart, pull it, pull it, pull it. And release. Bring the ball back to your belly. Now you can just lightly hold the ball or you can squeeze it. And we're going to take it up and over, so breathing in. The ball goes up to the ceiling and behind you to touch the floor, pause, and as you breathe out, it comes back down towards your thighs. So press the palms together and do this again, reaching over behind your head, turn in a back bend, 12 o'clock pelvic tilt, and then bring it back towards your thighs. You can try pulling the ball apart. Breathing in, up to the ceiling, and behind. And breathing out, bring it back down towards the thighs, the back in neutral. You can keep alternating or choose your favorite. So these arm movements with or without the ball. Of course, you can do it without. They mobilize the shoulders and the upper back. And alternately, arches and flattens the back. Flexion and extension, and it's the hip movement, so you get that pelvic tilt. Next time the ball is down by your thighs, pop it between the thighs and then squeeze. So with the squeeze of the ball, I'm going to take a bridge pose, lifting the hips. If you'd rather take the ball away, then do. If you'd rather not lift the hips, go back to pelvic tilts with or without the knee hugs. Make sure you don't have a pillow if you're going to lift the hips. I'm going to leave the elbows on the floor, but have the hands pointing, the fingers pointing up towards the ceiling. So flatten the back and start to lift the hips an inch, an inch, an inch. Tuck your chin down, lengthen the back of the neck. Lift higher and higher if you want to. Press the elbows down to lift even higher. So we've got this lovely arc in a bridge pose. Squeezing the ball as much or as little or a mantle as you wish. So breath in at the top and down as you breathe out. Lift your hands. Do a couple more. Breathing into lift, pause, breathing out to lower, pause. We're still going, just one more. And relax your arms and take the ball away. And gently sway the knees from side to side. So there's one more area of the body that we can use the ball, and this is behind the neck. So I'm going to lift my head and put the ball right under the neck. So not under the head, that's too wobbly. So it's not just the head resting on there, that's really wobbly. Right under your neck, so touching your shoulders, right into the curve of your neck, so that when you put your head down, you can lift your chin and you feel your neck is supported. Place the hands beside you, arms facing upwards, so that the forearms are exposed again, giving as much air, cooling air to the body as possible. Now it takes a while to just rely on the ball to lean on. It won't burst, but these balls are really resilient, so you can lift your chin and really tuck that ball right underneath the neck so your throat is exposed. And then relax. Relax the shoulders and let your neck breathe. The micro movement of the ball and tiny little movements are helping to strengthen the neck and the throat and the jaw without having to do any head lifting. You can even, if you wish, straighten the legs out as well if you want to do that. Now have a little rock on the ball, just tiny little rocks from side to side. Don't tense the hands with the hips in anticipation, just let it go. And if you've got right underneath your neck, you can just turn your head to one side and pause. The ball shouldn't flip out. And back to center. Back to center, and just allow yourself to drift into the ball for a few more breaths. And then take the ball away, so bend your legs, place the soles of your feet on the floor, head straight. And then lifting your head, take the ball away. Put your head down, bring your feet in slowly. going to roll to the side, but take it nice and easy, particularly if it's a hot day when you're doing this. You need to take it slowly. Roll yourself all the way over to the side. Pause for a moment, supporting your head with your hands with block. And then roll all the way over. Come onto all fours. Bending your knees if you need it, your wrists, and have the ball handy just to the side. Take some circles off the hips and shoulders, round and round. Circle small ones, big ones, what's most comfortable. And then come to a neutral tabletop position, tuck the toes under. Now, we're going to use the ball again if you want to. So we can do the cat curls without the ball, of course we can, but we can put a little bit of work into the legs by putting the ball between the thighs, and that kind of gives this approximation of working the legs in the dog pose. So put the ball between the thighs, and then flatten the feet again and squeeze the ball as much or as little as you like. So you have to take the knees quite close together, maybe even the feet touching for your maximum squeeze. And then tilt the pelvis up, tailbone up, lift up the nose, breathing in, breathing out, cat curl round the back. Push the floor away, squeeze the ball, press the feet down. Enjoy that for a moment with a little wriggle. And then keep going. So I'm using minimal cues here, minimal amount of words if possible, but you know your cat curls, so you can take them into backward and forward bend that suits you. And then come to a neutral cat position. I'm going to take that ball away, put it to the side, release your hands with those squeezes. And then take a long tail bird. So I'm just going to walk forwards on my mat, so I've got space to stick my feet to the mat. Take one leg back, toe curled under, toes curled under, walk forwards and back with that back leg straight. Don't forget the shoulders can mobilize here, so squeeze onto the ears. Squeeze them. That lovely movement through the leg, exposing the sole of the foot. Then I'm going to lift the leg from the floor. Turn the foot and the hip outwards, so the big toes pointed out, and I can look behind and see it. So you're curious long-tailed bird. Now we're going to bring the knee to the elbow, but if that's not suiting you today, just stay for another breath there and then go down. You can take a breath here with the leg lifted, and the breath out. Bring that knee forwards. You might have to rock forwards a bit. Maybe the knee comes to the arm. Breathing in, stretch it back, look at it. Breathing it out, bring it forwards. One more time, if that suits you, breathe out as you bring you to the arm. And then release the hands, bring the knee back down to the floor. Ready for long tail bird, second side. Take second leg out, toes come under, rock forwards and back. Shrug those shoulders. Shoulders away from the ears, spare foot pressing down so you can lift the long leg from the floor, turn the foot out to the side, look at the foot, take a breath in, with the breath out, bring it forwards, never touch the arm. Breathe in, stretch back, breathe out, pull forwards. Breathe in, stretch back, breathe out, pull forwards. Knee down, elbows down, and release those wrists by squeezing and stretching the fingers. Little rocks forwards and back to strengthen hips and shoulders. Okay, come back up onto your hands if you can. I'm going to use the ball now, so I'm going to put the ball underneath the right hand. Press it down and wobble it. You can rock it forwards and back. You can rock it side to side. You can tip it round and circles. Second hand. that hand back to the floor or the fist. Press down really hard into that ball, walking forwards and back, side to side, and even back in circles. With mobilizing from the arm. Now leave the ball there for a moment. I'm going to take the right leg back, toes tucked, tongue down, and then the ball underneath the left hand, opposite hand, if you want to. If not, of course, hands can be safely on the floor. This is a little bit trickier. You're going to lift that back leg, use the spare foot. So my spare foot can't come off the floor because it's taking all the weight. You pull back, so all the weight is on that foot. You're going to pause with the big toe down to 6 o'clock and pelvis level. If you can, you pick up the ball, put it further forwards, but the weight is still on my spare foot. Take a breath in and out. Lift the ball if you can, so you're in tiger pose. Go for one full breath. And then finish slowly, put the ball down, put the hand out, and then back in. Left leg. Pull back into the spare foot so that the hip is above the knee, not forwards, otherwise there's all the weight's on the knee. Pull it back. Take the ball out of the opposite hand, lift the back leg, toes pointing down to 6 o'clock, so pelvis is level. Press down so that the ball is being pressed into the floor by the hand. Then if you can, pick the ball up, move it over there. Keep the weight on the spare foot. Breathe in. And lift the ball for tiger pose, opposite hand to leg. Take a nice long full breath. Neck is long, face is soft. And when you finish, put the ball down and put the hand down. Put the knee down. Okay, have a lie down on your tummy. So pop the ball just to the side so it's still there when you need it. And come and lie down on your tummy. Crocodile resting pose. Once you're there, you can stretch those legs out one at a time, and you can wiggle the hips and pelvis, adjust the shoulders, lengthen the upper body, separate the elbows, overlap the fingers and turn the head to one side. Close your eyes and allow yourself to sink into the floor. So you can stay right now if you want. This pose, this crocodile resting pose, restores the natural curves of the spine. It's very releasing for your back. Now, otherwise, I'm going to do some leg lifts if you want to put some work in. You're going to draw the legs towards each other. Keep your forehead down, or you can lift it slightly from the floor, but lifting from the back of the neck, so you're still looking down. Tummy in, pelvis push down, heels to attention. Lift one leg and lower it. Second leg, lower. Melt your hips, pelvis, and heels. Pause. Tummy in, pelvis down, heels to attention, lift and lower. Second side, lift and lower. Melt heels, hips, pelvis. Keep going. At the end of the next set and melt, just pause there and turn your head again to relax. Same with the arms. I'm going to stretch the arms forwards, wider than the shoulders. If your shoulders are not willing to let your arms go forwards, you can always put the arms down by your sides. You can lift them there with not so much strain into the shoulder joint. But if you can stretch them forwards, then do, keeping the strength in your upper back and shoulders as much as you can. So again, your forehead will be either touching the floor or hovering off the floor, but the same distance from the floor as your nose and your chin. Mine is lifted so you can hear me. You've got tummy in, pelvis pushed down, lift one arm, stretch it, and down. The other arm lifts, lowers, and melt the shoulders. Tummy in, pelvis down, lift one arm, lower it, lift the other arm, lower it, melt the shoulders. Do a couple more. And then rest your arms on your underneath your head again. Maybe turn the head the other way this time to relax. So to do the oblique muscles across the back, we want one arm, one leg opposite, just as we did kneeling. So I'm going to take the arms out straight again. Then bring the feet a little bit closer together. Tummy in, pelvis push down. Don't clench the buttocks, push the thighs into the ground instead. One arm, opposite leg lift and lower. The other arm, the opposite leg lift and lower. Melt heels, pelvis and shoulders. When you're ready to go again, tummy in, thighs push down and heels to attention. One arm, opposite leg lift and lower. Second arm, opposite leg lift and lower. Melt heels, pelvis and shoulders. Do 2 more sets in a row. And then rest your head once more. So remembering that when you are in a prone position, lying on the floor, every time you take anything off the floor, you're going into a back bend. So back bends are very energizing for the whole spinal cord, strengthening for the back. Just have a little rock in the pelvis and release. Now here's what I'm going to use the ball, which you can use here if you want to, or you can still do the arm movements without a ball. I'm going to take the ball in front of my head. My hands are going to press the ball inwards. Now again, I'm not going to look at the ball. I'm going to look at the floor so that the back of the neck is long, tummy in, pelvis pushed down, thighs pushed into the floor. Squeeze that ball as much or as little as you like. And you can either leave it there or you can bend the arms and start to take the ball behind your head. You might need to adjust the position of your hands on the ball so it goes in the right place. Walk the elbows further forwards if you can to get bigger stretch in the armpits, and maybe the ball will go behind the neck. And then release the ball and release your head. It's quite claustrophobic and heating, so I'm just going to do the one today, but if you want to do a couple more, you can. And then I'm going to take the ball behind my back and see if I can squeeze it with the elbows bent. Squeeze the wrists, the palms of the hands into the ball in the small of the back. Again, forehead to floor, slightly lifted if it's a bit claustrophobic, but keep looking down. Tummy and thighs pushing into the floor. Take a breath in and out. Now remember how we pulled the ball apart? So get the fingers all the way around the ball, get the thumb on the ball, pull it apart. And as you do so, your shoulder blades pull together, your chest lifts, your belly lifts, your head lifts, but don't look forwards, look down, press the feet down, keep the thighs pressing down. This is half locust pose. Take a breath in and out. You can either go down or take one more breath, lift higher. And breathe out, go down. Put the ball to one side, come onto your forearms. Into any kind of comfortable forearm sphinx or elbows to the floor position if you want to rest your head on your fists. Just pause there for a moment in that nice easy back bend that's supported or hands on the floor. I'm going to use my elbows and forearms to help me come up. I'm going to suck my belly off the floor, look at the belly, put the elbows there, and push them down to lift the bottom, bringing the knees in so you're in a dolphin, having a little rock forwards and back. This is a halfway pose as a counter pose to all those back bends we've just done. Dolphin pose is a nice way to release the back. We can go a little bit further, of course. We can go into child's pose. So if you want to, just take the feet together and the knees wide and so you can sit back. If you're not quite to the heels, then a ball on the heels is quite nice to sit on actually. You can get it there. You can sit on the ball and then rest your head. Or you can use the ball under your forehead. Or you can press the ball to one side, bring the forehead to your hands or the floor. Now, after being on the floor in that prone position where the chest was constricted, you can now breathe fully. The ribs are totally open, front, sides, and back. So take the biggest breath you can, fill yourself with air, and let that breath go. And then again. Take a little pause after those big deep breaths, and then with a wiggle, bring yourself back up to seated. I'm going to come over onto the floor again and get back on the floor. Have the ball handy if you'd like to use it for a couple of poses on the floor. So lying down and have either the feet to the floor or a full body stretch. Again, you can do that morning stretch, that pandiculation with a yawn, reclining stretch, or even your banana stretch if you want to, whatever feels comfortable here. Eventually bringing the arms down and bending the knees to bring the feet to the floor. So I'm going to suggest a restorative bridge pose. If you feel the ball is too high, you could use block, or you could deflate the ball halfway. But the beauty of the ball is that it moves slightly, so it does work the pelvis and the pelvic floor. If you're going to use the ball, you just lift your hips a little at a time. Make sure you have a little pillow when you lift your hips, because the back of the neck is lengthened onto the floor. And then place the ball underneath your tailbone. You might have to move it around to get it in the right position and adjust your shoulders into the floor. So the closer you have your hands to your hips, the wobblier you will be. So if you don't want to be wobbly, take the arms further out to the side, maybe 45 degrees, maybe 90 degrees to the hips, straight out from the shoulders. The forearms exposed if you want to cool down, as that's a nice way of receiving cool air to the wrists and forearms. So you'll notice that the ball's a bit wobbly. You can wobble it on purpose. You can rock from side to side. You can rock it forwards and back. And you can even just have a little bounce on it. I think it's comfortable. Then draw the feet a little bit closer together. And without touching the knee, just bring them one knee to the chest and put the foot back down. Second knee to the chest, put the foot back down. And if that's enough, keep alternating. If you feel you can take both feet off the floor, bring both knees to chest, do that. This Uttanasana with the tailbone lifted, decompression for the spine. You can keep the knees there, maybe separate them, play with the feet, or do whatever you want to do there. Or you can float both legs up to the sky. The Purita Karini with a good old wobbly ball as a base. So here, of course, it is a form of an inversion, which means you might get a little bit of pressure in the head. If you suffer from pressure in the head or the eyes, or you've had cataracts done recently, not something you stay at for any length of time. So just give it a go and then come down. Otherwise, you can just play with the feet, or swing the legs, or stay still. Let the feet go. Nice long breath in and out. Make sure your hands are relaxed, there's no tension. No worry about falling off the wall. Just let it go. Everything relaxed. Maybe still got your legs up to the sky, but towards the chest. You can either put one foot to the floor at a time or both together. If you're going to do both together, take it slowly. Just have the ball rolls on your back. Arch gets bigger as the ball slowly comes to the floor. Now you can either take the ball away now and go straight to relaxation, Shavasana, or you can start to straighten the legs with the ball there. So you lift up the hips. And that ultimate exposure of the whole of the front of the body, cooling and releasing. Make sure the feet are at least as wide as the hips, if not as wide as your mat. Your toes flop outwards to completely release those in the hips and thighs, exposing the pelvis. Into the back bend without any effort whatsoever, so re-energizing the spine. Opens the abdomen for good digestion, opens the chest and the heart for good breathing. Just relax, make sure you've got no tension in the buttocks. The ball is moving slightly, so it's doing all the work for you. All those tiny muscles are working without you having to do anything at all. If you want to stay there for a bit longer, then do, but I do recommend you come down flat for relaxation. You can either roll to one side and pull the ball out, or bend one leg and lift the hips, maybe both legs, and to take the ball away. Just savor the space as you slowly take the pelvis back down to the floor. And then with a minimal amount of effort, maybe covering your eyes if you need to, but slide those legs away into Shavasana, Sneaky Starfish position. Palms facing upwards for maximum cooling of the arms, toes flopped outwards for releasing the hips. You might want to rock the back of the head, soften the jaw and the forehead. Magic breath, with a big breath in, sigh the breath away. slightly deep breath in and out. Hold this stay where you are for a bit longer if you want to, of course. This is a recording. Otherwise, we'll bend the arms, bend the knees. Get a movement that works for you. Eventually coming to semi-supine. If you have low blood pressure, you might want to roll to the left just to give your heart a little boost, give the circulation a restart, especially if it's hot. Otherwise, roll to whichever side works for you. Take your time as you just pause and support your head. And then when ready, come up. Comfortable seated position. If you want to finish together, take the hands together. Breathing in, raise the arms to the sun. Breathing out, release them down to the left. Arms face upwards, take those arms back up to the top. And back down in front of your heart. Open up the arms as if you're opening the curtains. And have a little smile. And a sigh as you bring the hands back. Remember the quote from the Dalai Lama. There is no need for temples. There is no need for complicated philosophy. Your heart is your temple. The philosophy is kindness. Namaste.